got a couple of texts to get over, and then we'll get back to the open line phone lines. What do we have here? Casey, thank you. I'm a millennial, and I voted for Hillary Clinton. I'm not joking. I actually shivered when I read that. I voted for her because I thought that she would win. That's it. I never got into politics until these past 3 years, and boy, was I dead wrong on my vote. I've been listening to 95.3 since 2016, all morning and afternoon, and I want to thank you for everything you do. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate those kind words. I mean, you did try to destroy the country, but at least you admit that you were wrong, so I appreciate that. All right, to the phone lines we go. We have Tony. Welcome to the program.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. What's up?
Hey, I was watching some of the impeachment stuff, and, I don't know if it's doing the Democrats bad because, they're front and center now, and a lot of them come across as just not very intelligent or, so partisan that it seems like it drives people away. They're hard to watch when they're these are the top people of their party, like Schiff and Pelosi and that, man, it's this is the best that they got, and it's man, they're so partisan, and they don't really seem all that bright with the stuff they say.
You know what?
I mean?
Well, you bring up some interesting observations here, and you're not the only one that's noticed this. And I've kind of mentioned it before, but there's some other people that have mentioned it as well. So anytime you have politics, right, especially when you have an election, there's always an influx of new people. And some of those new people stick around. Some of those new people make their fame, their money early on, and they flame out. Nobody ever hears from them again. And then there's those of us who are just perpetually here and a thorn in everybody's side forever. But what they've noticed is that on the political left right now, their faces, their figureheads, the ones that represent the movements, don't dress well. They don't present themselves well. Poor grammar, not very bright, get caught lying or being wrong or ill-read much of the time. Whereas on the other side, like him or hate him, you've got Ben Shapiro, who dresses sharp, presents himself very well spoken, generally polite for the most part. You've got Katie Pavlich. You've got these people who, those who are undecided are going to look at, and they're going to look at the person who's foaming at the mouth, screaming and yelling, and they're going to look at the other person who's presenting themselves well, clean cut, and they speak well, and they're not foaming at the mouth. And just from the natural order of things, you're going to lean a little bit more towards the person who presents themselves well. So a lot of people have seen this.
It's almost like Schiff and Nadler. I didn't really know much about them at all, but now that they're front and center, you look at them man, where'd these people come? Who voted for these people?
Yeah, Nadler's been around forever, but Nadler's about half the size of what he used to be. He got that stomach surgery. He used to be massive.
He's just to stay in the background and just kind of coast along rather than be front and center, because then it's just
let me
wonder who are these people.
Let me give you an example. So, do you know who Hank Johnson is?
No.
Okay, Hank Johnson is a Democrat from Georgia. Hank Johnson is the guy who thought Guam would tip over.
What?
He hasn't heard the clip, Joe. He thought Guam would tip over. The island of Guam could tip over because there's too many U.S. naval personnel there.
And he's still in office?
Hold on. He has been reelected since he said that 5 times. Overwhelmingly, okay? He wins 70+% of the vote. 5 different elections since he said that in 2010. And today, he goes out there and he basically accuses the president of kidnapping the Ukrainian president's daughter and locking her in the basement. And he's going to win re-election. There's nobody to challenge this guy, man. So
I mean, I thought you had to be an intellect and elite to be a politician. I'm half thinking about running for office.
No, man, you don't.
Do it, how hard can it be?
Dude, Jesse Jackson's kid got elected when he was in prison. He was in jail and he got elected because there's nobody to run against him. So I guess since you haven't heard the Guam soundbite, I have to play the Guam soundbite. I mean, you gave me an excuse to play it, so I'm gonna play it because it's one of my favorite sound bites of all time. So I'll tell you what, Tony, you keep listening. Give me 8 minutes. Can you do that?
Yeah, I will.
All right, I'll play it for you, and you'll understand what I'm talking about.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Bud, you take care. All right, 574-25-95-95-3. He's not the first person to make that observation. So right now, I'm looking at Antifa in the UK. Once again, proving that they cannot accept the results of an election. They don't care about the will of the people. You have to agree with them or we're going to destroy your stuff. So they are rioting now. Antifa's rioting in the UK right now because they don't like the landslide election results that happened yesterday. And I mean landslide, an historic landslide election defeating Labour and the Conservative Party, which is Boris Johnson's party in the UK, won. They basically have enough votes in Parliament to do whatever the heck Boris Johnson wants. And there's nothing that the Labour Party can do about it. I got news for you. That's what happens when you elect an anti-Semite as the leader of your party. And that's what the Labour Party did. There's probably a lot of people in England who don't agree with the Conservative Party who are Jewish and did not want him to be the guy that was going to have control of the country. They've also been dealing with a lot of anti-Semitic attacks and things like that in the UK. So there's going to be a lot of that. Now, who in the United States has aligned themselves with anti-Semitism? Well, the political left has for many, 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 many years. Many years. And for crying out loud, AOC and company have said anti-Semitic things repetitively.